I don't know. Sometimes I see people working out in jeans. Like, I don't care. I'm just going to work out in my jeans.
This is me. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Fitness Focus. I'm Jordan, and today I've got Justin from Kiwi Fitness joining me. Hey, Justin, how are you doing?
I'm great, Jordan. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. It's been a busy day, but not too crazy.
Yeah, thanks for having me on today. I'm really excited to get into it.
Yeah, of course. And I'm excited about Kiwi. Kiwi's this new AI-based personal training app. So maybe tell me a little bit more about it. So this is another personal training app. Like, what does it do, or why are you working on this?
Yeah, it's a great question. There's a ton of fitness apps out there. The market is kind of saturated in a sense, but we saw a big kind of gap between what's out there and what people need. So there's a lot of personalization that's still kind of missing from what's out there, and there's also a big gap in the community that's available out there. So a lot of people use Strava. A lot of people love Strava, but for like gym workouts and strength training, there's not an equivalent thing out there. So we're trying to create that sense of community because that's really important for people staying motivated and staying on track, and also bring some of that personalization that you might get from a personal trainer that you wouldn't get from your typical fitness app. So actually, the reason I originally started working on Kiwi was because I was going to a physical therapist, and I would go in every week, and they would ask me like, what's going on? What have you been doing? What's been bothering you? And I would find that a lot of times they wouldn't remember the thing that I had told them the previous week. And it was kind of like I was starting all over again every week. So I'm like, I think I could build something that could kind of fill in some of these gaps, and like remembering everything about me week over week and then helping me optimize my training.
Yeah. And what were you doing before you started working at Kiwi or working on Kiwi?
Yeah, so before Kiwi, I was at WhatsApp on the engineering infra team at WhatsApp and building out some infra features that support the WhatsApp community.
It's cool that you had a technical background as well to get things running. For me, I can do everything except I can't code. And so I'm always super envious of the people that can just whip this stuff up and put it all together.
Yeah, it's a great skill to have. Feels kind of like a superpower, and it's really cool. With the AI tools coming out now, ChatGPT, like it's becoming a lot more accessible for a lot of people. So a lot of people are starting to feel like they can have that superpower too.
Yeah. So how did you decide that AI was going to be a key feature of the app? Because it seems like that's kind of how it begins and ends after it gives you the recommendations is using AI. So how did you know that was the right direction to go?
Yeah, for sure. So I didn't want to approach this as like, oh, I've got this new tool. I'm gonna have a hammer and start looking for nails. But I do really feel like AI is a really big platform shift in the kinds of things that we're able to do now. Kind of like when the internet came out. I think it's pretty clear that there's going to be a lot of new businesses, a lot of new user experiences, and kind of the way we approach a lot of the things we do. So I was pretty sure there was, an opportunity to create a lot of new, really cool things. So I started playing around with it. I was like, hey, what if I could create something that's really useful for myself and see how it goes? And kind of one thing led to another, and I kind of couldn't put the idea down. So I started working on it full time.
Nice. Because, yeah, that's something that I really liked about the Kiwi app is, for me, summer's over, but, when I first loaded the Kiwi app, I said, you know what, I really want bigger glutes, but I've got a knee injury. And it said, oh, yeah, no problem. Here are all sorts of things that you can do. I'm going to come up with a customized plan for you. And so I was like, oh, I've never seen that before, where it will take into consideration the movements that you can actually do. And then from there, it seems like the sky's the limit to kind of continuously customize and give you personalized, very personal workout plans through Kiwi.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, I struggle with knee injuries too. So that's actually the example I use all the time, explaining like, how is this different? Like, what does it really do for you? And yeah, it's not just like a kind of like a template workout plan, but it's like super personalized. It's like it's really for you. It takes into account everything. Like also the type of equipment that you have at home, so it can choose the exercises that have the equipment that you have that's available to you. So yeah, that's a really cool part about it. So I'm curious, how do you create partnerships with gyms, and what does that partnership look like? But what does the conversation look like when you go into a gym and say, hey, here's what we've got?
Yeah, so fitness is definitely a partnerships and relationships game. And one of the things that we've found a lot of success with is just going to the gym and saying, hey, fitness is a way that you can get travelers and also get your inactive users back into the gym, all using one app. Fitness is a secondary revenue stream for gyms. Most gyms are focused on their bread and butter, which are monthly recurring memberships. But of course, there's a lot of people that are visiting a certain area. For instance, I'm here in Ann Arbor, so I would not need a monthly membership, but maybe I want to go to the gym after I finish some coffee, grabbing a coffee. A lot of gyms are not built for single day or short term memberships. And so the pitch for us is just going into the gym and just saying, hey, you continue doing what you're already doing. That's totally fine. We're a secondary thing that you can do on the side to get these different types of customer groups into your gym. And it really is really that simple. The challenge is that when we're working with fitness industry people, a lot of the people in these different environments are not necessarily tech savvy or like tech enthusiasts like you and me. A lot of people that are working in the fitness industry are really, really good at working with their hands, working with people in person, making an impact on people's lives physically. And so we have to just kind of introduce people to a new way of increasing their revenue and increasing their business using nothing but software and digital technology. So that's what we do. I spent the summer traveling all across Europe, bringing fitness to the EU. I went to 8 different cities in Germany. I went to Paris. I was in London. I'm going back to London in a couple of weeks. So that's really been my whole thing, is just hitting the ground and just getting the word out about the platform, because we should be launching officially by the time that this episode comes out.
Cool, very exciting. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So, like when you go into a gym, do you find that certain types of gyms are more receptive or interested? Like, what's your kind of ideal profile for a gym?
For me, what seems to be working the best are kind of independent boutique gyms. So those would be ones that might have specialty equipment. Back in Toronto, where I'm from, I go to this really cool old school powerlifting gym where they have like heavy metal playing in the background, and it's kind of intense, even though everybody there is super nice. But for people that go to those kind of gyms that are used to that kind of specialized equipment, it's really difficult for those same people to just go to a Planet Fitness, for instance, that might only have dumbbells up to 40 pounds, 50 pounds. For somebody like me, I need dumbbells that go up to like 100 pounds. And what's really cool about the fitness app is that you can see all the equipment that's available in all the different gyms that you're visiting. So that way you know that you can find all that specialized equipment. When we're pitching to gyms, I think that's one of the big things, is just being able to say that we're able to make it even easier for the people that really love to go to those gyms to find more of those facilities around the world.
Amazing. Yeah. When you were describing that, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Airbnb. Like when I go on Airbnb and I'm looking at the options that are available, and there's always these kind of cool, unique categories like, oh, this is a tree house stay, or, whatever different amenities they have. Like I'm looking for a place for a hot tub that has a hot tub. That's what the heavy metal example kind of reminded me of.
Yeah, we don't know if there's going to be a filter for music, but for sure you'll be able to see the stuff that's in there. And then I think one cool thing that you're doing also is thinking about community, because that's certainly something that we are hoping to put into our app. But for you, how important is it to have a fitness community, built into your platform?
Yeah, it's extremely important. So right now, like up to now, we've kind of been focused on single player mode because to build a community, you need to have people in your app first, and you got to provide a lot of value so that when you show up before there's a community, there's a lot of value for you there. But yeah, community is extremely important, and there's a few reasons. Like a lot of our users that we talk to say that for them to kind of stay motivated and stay on track and stay accountable, they'll use the buddy system. So they'll go with a certain friends to the gym every week or however often they go. And a lot of people that go to the gym, myself included, they enjoy kind of being around other people. Like if you have a gym at home, it's kind of more convenient in a way, but it's kind of nice to be working out around other people. So we're looking for ways to kind of enhance and build up that community experience, and thinking about the different ways that people want to interact with other people at the gym.
Yeah, I think that's something we're interested in too, because right now we're definitely single player mode as well. But I'm curious to see as things develop for both of us, how those community features come in. Because with us, we're looking at travelers and we're thinking a lot of people do solo travels, a lot of people do business and kind of all sorts of things independently. But wouldn't it be nice if somebody else is a traveler visiting your same city and going to that same gym and saying, hey, if you want to work out together and we can push each other, why not do it?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I could see if you have a lot of people traveling independently, then they might be looking to connect up.
Yeah, but for you, since you're working with AI, how does AI keep your users motivated? Because it seems like there's a lot of work that you can do in the single player mode.
Yeah, for sure. So part of what the AI does is try to understand how our users are motivated. So everyone is motivated in different ways. For some people, it's about discipline. For some people, it's about setting a goal and working towards it. For some people, it's about being kind of competitive and being on a leaderboard. So that's one of the things. That's part of the personalization that we try to bring into the app with the AI is to understand like what is it that you really care about and how do we help you stay focused on that and maintain progress. We've also got some gamifications, so we've got streaks and leaderboards, all that good stuff. That's kind of fun. Some people like leaderboards. Some people don't care about leaderboards. They're like, I just want to, stay on my own track and keep making progress that way. But yeah, some of the cool features we're working on now are kind of about getting really a little bit analytical and seeing, how much weight you're lifting week over week and what's your volume look like and figuring out how you can optimize your workout so that you can get the most out of what you're doing. Because if you're seeing progress and if you have a workout that's optimized to get you towards your goals, that's what's really the best thing for motivation. If you know that you're getting the most out of your workout and that the work that you're putting in is going to lead to results.
You guys have been developing this platform kind of at the same time as we did, at the beginning of the year. So could you actually tell me more about any challenges that you're facing? Like what's the most difficult thing about building your platform?
So I think one thing that's kind of a challenge is that AI tools are still very new and they're different from the kind of strengths and weaknesses that you have with a personal trainer, and they're very different from existing fitness apps. So there's a lot of things that AI can do really well that it might do better than a human personal trainer or a traditional fitness app. For example, if you have a question about, what's a good exercise I can do to strengthen my knees at 4 a.m., your personal trainer might not text you back within 5 minutes, but Kiwi will text you back in about 10 seconds. On the other hand, if there's this classic example of like asking the AI how many R's are in the letter strawberry, and it gets the question wrong, right? So there's all these little things that are all these strengths and weaknesses that are so different from the traditional way of doing things, and figuring out how to build an experience that takes advantages of those strengths and kind of um, avoids the weaknesses. So after the pandemic, we saw that a lot of people started doing more workouts at home, and I'm curious, how has that shaped your business strategy and your thinking about how to provide for that experience?
Fitness actually was an idea that came to mind back in 2017. And thank goodness we actually didn't pursue it. And a lot of things happened because of COVID, it would have completely crumbled as soon as everybody started working out at home. Fitness is kind of now in a good position to be able to reach those people that got used to working out at home. Because I think now, especially as a result of COVID, everybody is super aware of their physical health and their mental health. I think much more so than really any other point in time. And so the idea with fitness is to make it really easy for those people to access fitness facilities wherever they go. And so those home workouts are great. For me, I can do 100 push-ups, I can do sit-ups, I can do all sorts of I can do dips using a chair, all those like COVID at home workout activities that I did. But I noticed that nothing was better than me getting back into the gym and being around other people to motivate me. Because when I'm working out at home, I feel like I was always doing like minimum effort, maybe like, 60%. So what I really needed is just to be in the gym and to kind of really give it my all to exhaust my energy for the day. So What we're really focused on is giving people anytime access to the gym and also making it easy for people that may have gotten used to working out at home to say, hey, you don't have to sign up for a whole membership. You don't have to be locked into a contract. You can just go to the gym, start feeling it out once or twice, see how you feel. And then from there, you can consider signing up for a longer membership if you're in your home market, or if you feel like you've made some progress, or maybe you like went to Italy and just like ate all the pasta and all the lasagna that you wanted and you just want to burn you want to burn off some pasta. You can do that while you're traveling too. So that's really what we're thinking about, is just giving people more options than what exists. Because right now, if you want to go to the gym, you have to go on Google Maps. If you're in a country that you don't necessarily speak the language, you've got to translate it. Often you can't buy something online, so you need to go in person to try to negotiate a deal, and you don't even know what equipment is there. So we're just trying to take all of those steps out of the equation and just make it as easy to book a gym as you can book a hotel room. That's really the focus that we have right now.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting that you mentioned feeling more motivated when you're working out in the gym around other people. What do you think it is about that experience that's motivating for you?
Well, for me, it's vanity. I can admit that. For me, if I see somebody who, maybe they've got, huge shoulders, or maybe, honestly, maybe it's people that look to me for advice. That actually happened to me the other day. I was at the gym and, I was doing pull downs, and this young guy right next to me was doing his best, we'll say, with how he was rowing. But he saw that I was able to pull down properly. And he's like, hey, how should I position my feet? And I watched him do it. And actually, there was nothing wrong with his feet. It was because he was pulling. I don't even know how he was doing this. He was kind of pulling like this when you need to be pulling like this. And for me, it was like, oh, okay. I remember when I was that guy, when I didn't know what I was doing. And for me, it was a motivator to be like, oh, actually, I've learned how to master some of these movements. So I think it's a little bit of comparison, but also just it's kind of like a group project and everybody's working on their piece of the group project. I think the motivation for me is just seeing everybody else giving it their best. And that's really what helps me stay focused. Because if I'm at home, I'm the only person I can compare myself to. So I think that's kind of the thing for me, is the psychology of it.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Feeling like a group project. That's such a great classic human motivator. Do you find that most of your users are kind of more experienced gym goers, or are there a lot of people who are kind of new to the gym and just trying it out for the first time?
I'd say it's a bit of both. We definitely have some people that are quite hardcore. We have some like top level athletes. So some people that are do marathons. So they need to be able to train year round. It doesn't matter if they're going on vacation or whatever, they need to make sure that they have access. But then we also have some people, and it's interesting because have you heard of Ozempic or those
Yeah,
kind of
of course.
GLP-1s? Those people who are using Ozempic, it turns out a lot of them are super motivated to go to the gym, but if you're on Ozempic, you have to start kind of slow. I'm not quite sure why, but you can become a little bit ill, from what I've heard. Allegedly, you can be a little bit ill if you work out too intensely while you're on Ozempic. But we do have a lot of people that are like, "Hey, I'm on this new fitness journey for the first time in my life. I'm feeling different. I'm feeling inspired. I'm feeling motivated, and I really want to get this going. But I may not be the most experienced gym goer." So we have a full spectrum of people. I think all of our users so far just want to have easy access, and so they all recognize that there's a brokenness in the system that makes it so difficult to just access the gym when you want to go.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I know that for me at the gym I go to, whenever a friend is visiting from out of town, they want to just go with me for the day. There's
Hmm.
not really a great option for them to get a day pass,
Yeah.
and I feel like it's such a shame because like not only would it be really convenient for me, but you could probably get some new members as well if you have someone that just wants to come try it out for the day and then realize they like it.
Yeah, and a lot of gyms, it's interesting. You can either get a free membership or you can sign up for a month. There's not a lot of middle ground.
It's interesting you mentioned Ozempic because we've actually had a few users who specifically have tried Kiwi because they're on this Ozempic or GLP-1 journey and kind of feeling like they have the bandwidth and ability to kind of start a new workout routine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's such a great pairing because I know for a lot of people using these medications, there's a lot of weight loss and there's also some muscle loss sometimes. So starting a strength training routine can be a really great way to benefit your health.
Yeah, and that's one of the cool things about Kiwi, is that you can say, on Ozempic. I've never done a workout before. These are the things that I'd like to do. And, maybe I've got a wedding coming up, and it will show you, okay, this is what you can do. Okay, this might be low impact. So I think that's what's really cool about your platform is how hyper customized it can be. And it's already that customized right now in the first version or in this version. So it feels like there's so much more that can happen, as you guys continue to develop. So I'm excited for you guys.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. This is the worst it'll ever be, as they say. It's only going to get better. um, that reminds me of another kind of interesting strength of an AI fitness coach, which is that you might feel a little more open about asking questions that you might not ask to a human face to face.
Yeah, because it might be embarrassing. Like for me, when I said I want bigger glutes, I might not want to say that to a personal trainer, depending on which personal trainer it is. But if it's my phone, telling me, why not?
Exactly. Yeah. Like I said a minute ago, like this is the worst that's ever going to be, and it'll only get better. So I think a big part of the answer is just that it's going to be this is kind of the first glimmer of how it's going to look, but it's going to be 10 times better a couple of years from now. And for sure, virtual reality or augmented reality, I think is a part of that. So the way the experience looks like on Kiwi right now is you go into the gym and it's a text conversation, and Kiwi updates your plan and helps you track your progress. But I think pretty soon what we're going to see is that as more people start wearing smart glasses, you're going to have these smart glasses on your face, and you're going to have your AI assistant talking to you not just through text, but also through audio. It's going to be more of a natural human conversation, and it's going to be a lot like having a personal trainer that's with you in the gym and can see what you see. So you walk in and you say like, "Hey, what does this piece of equipment do?" And you don't have to pull out your phone and describe it or take a picture or something because your AI assistant is there with you and it can see what you see. And then Kiwi would say like, "Oh, hey, this is a pull down machine or a cable row," and then it'll say like, "Do you want to add this into your plan?" And so yeah, it's going to feel more high bandwidth, more natural, um, just better and better in every way.
For me, it's wearable tech. That's something that I find increasingly interesting. At the most recent Apple keynote, they introduced like a vitals feature, that's able to track in part your workout effort. It can't track your reps or your sets, but it can somehow recognize the change in your biochemistry from when you're exerting yourself. So that must be blood oxygen, or maybe it's the like the sweat level on your skin. But I think that's one really interesting way of being able to track your effort. For me, when I was working out before I got my trainer, I thought I was doing the most. I thought that I was doing everything. I was doing, amazing. And when I started working out with my trainer, it made me realize, oh, I wasn't doing, nearly as much as I could or I should. But when you're first starting out, there's no way that you could know that. You're just doing your best with what you know how to do. So I think that's one other cool thing. And it mixed with AI as well. When you start working out, if it's able to figure out how intense those workouts are, I think that can also help people on their fitness journey start to see results. Because when you first start, and if you're not seeing the results that you want to see, it's easy to be deflated and be like, well, this is stupid. Just having that coach next to you, to just say, hey, okay, just do a little bit more. Yeah, is a really cool way to break down some barriers for some people, especially at the beginning.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I think it's essential for seeing results and for staying motivated to, especially if you're starting out, to know like, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing enough? Is this workout optimized to kind of to get me towards my goals? So things like wearables and tracking heart rate variability. If Kiwi can tell you like, hey, looks like you know you're still a little bit recovering from that really intense workout last week, so why don't we ease up a little bit this week? Or hey, looks like you're pretty well rested, so let's try pushing it a little bit today. That can be really helpful.
Yeah. And I think one thing that's also cool when we think about our platforms and how we can collaborate, because Kiwi's able to send recommendations based on the equipment that's available to you. And in the fitness app, you're able to see what equipment is in the gym that you're booking. So when somebody goes to the gym and opens up Kiwi, the Kiwi app will know they've got dumbbells from 5 pounds to 100. It's got all of this stuff available to the user. So I think that's one really cool thing about this partnership that we're forming, is that we can really build both ships at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, it's a perfect combination for sure.
Yeah.
What's the craziest workout that you've ever done when you had to work out but you didn't have access to a gym?
So I can think of one crazy workout that I did. This was a pandemic era workout that hopefully we don't ever have to go back to again. But in Toronto, what a lot of people did with their storage units is because you couldn't work out at a gym, you could move all of your workout equipment into a storage locker. And so a friend of mine, who will remain nameless for security purposes, he's like, hey, I've got this full gym in my storage unit. You can go over there whenever you want, and like nobody will question you, because of COVID safety, because it was partially outside. And I'm like, okay, this seems interesting. Maybe I'm going to give it a shot. And so I go over there a little bit at night. It was probably about 6 or 7 o'clock at night. And I get there, and there were 8 other people that also had turned their storage units into gyms. So I guess that need for like physical fitness did not stop just because of a global pandemic. And so it was kind of cool seeing all of these like makeshift gyms built out of storage lockers. Because I thought fully I was going to be the only person there, but no, everybody got the message to work out at your storage locker.
Wow, that's such a weird, unique thing. I never would have imagined that.
And how about you? Any crazy workouts or any crazy workout stories that you can think of?
Well, yeah, I don't have a story that good, but I did put a pull-up bar in my backyard, and it's in between two trees. So sometimes my neighbors will see me out there, and they'll be like, "What is this like Rocky out in his backyard just doing pull-ups in the trees?" So yeah, that's my backyard workout sometimes when the gym isn't open.
Has there been anything unusual that you've ever seen at the gym?
I don't know. Sometimes I see people working out in jeans, and I think maybe it's sometimes it's someone who's trying working out for the first time, and they haven't committed to like getting some exercise, an outfit yet. And sometimes it's somebody that's been working out for a long time, and they're like, I don't care, I'm just gonna work out in my jeans. So
Yeah,
either way,
yeah.
either way.
This is me. Yeah. So, what about working in fitness makes you inspired? Like, how did you decide to choose that you wanted to focus on working in the fitness industry?
Yeah, so I've worked out for a long time. Fitness has always been a big part of my life. And I think it's something that's really important for everybody. Especially I know for myself, for my overall health, for feeling good about my strength and my overall fitness, and also for mental health. I think a lot of people nowadays realize that strength training, resistance training has a ton of health benefits, and it's kind of for everybody. It's not just for bodybuilders. Uh, So I'm really inspired to make something that works great for me and that really benefits a lot of people and helps them improve their health.
Okay, so Justin, we've heard about the Kiwi app today. Where can people find out more?
You can download Kiwi Fitness in the Apple App Store or on the Android Play Store, and our website is trainwithkiwi.com. And you can find us on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok as well. So where can we find out more about fitness?
Everybody can visit fitness.fit. That's our website, and also all of our social medias are fitness.fit, spelled fitness without the vowels, FTNSS. And then the fitness app is available in the App Store now. So visit our website, and that's where you can find out more.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's it. So thanks, Justin, for joining me today, and I'll talk to you on the next one.
Thanks, Jordan. It's a pleasure.
Cool.